Welcome to the SID's View.
He's gonna do it this week.
Well,
Podcast.
I would have sworn that was Remy if the preceding words weren't said.
You know the rest.
Yeah. That ends the streak of perfect execution.
When I hear something like that, it's just so romantic sounding. Right? What is the movie I say?
The movie?
Yeah, 50 Shades. It's like 50 Shades.
Oh
of,
my God.
It's like 50 Shades of Grey.
Again?
That's a good movie.
You always say that's a good movie.
That's a good movie. My friend Daryl, he said he has a red room. Yep. Daryl has a red room. Mm-hmm.
Daryl P. right there?
Daryl P.
He's got what?
He's got a red room. I asked him what the key word was. There's always a key word.
Well, we'll let him attest to that.
Maybe it's donuts. You know what I say? You say something stupid like donuts. That's it.
What?
Well, hey, whatever.
Yeah, all right. We have all these working?
Am I going to be the one doing this?
We do, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did you think of something for me?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You've been forgetting about me, Sid.
Oh, yeah. Jack, you watch college basketball at all?
Of course.
I keep up with it. Yeah. I know UConn's an 8 seed.
I know. What I didn't understand is that they lost twice this year.
Yeah.
To who?
St. John's.
St. John's.
No. Creighton. And Creighton's a 9 seed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right? Louisville's an 8 seed. Me and Daryl were
None
talking.
of them make sense. It's like
I'm
the
like,
brackets we do.
How is Daryl?
UNC's in the play-in game.
How about Illinois? Texas is. They're like 19 and 15.
Mm.
They went sub 500 in their conference, and they made the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know.
I used to know all the conferences. I could have rattled off all the teams and all the conferences.
They swapped them a lot now,
Yeah.
too. Like Houston's in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Oregon's in the Big 12.
Yep.
Yeah, like Stanford's in the ACC or something crazy or something. I forget. The
I don't
Pac-10 doesn't exist anymore.
I love, though. I can literally say UConn was getting blown out the other night.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should just go to bed because I got to get up early in the morning.
Yeah. You sit there and you just.
And I kept sitting there, and they got to within 4.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they got a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost race season time. When March Madness is going on. March Madness is crazy. It's kind of like our brackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, real crazy. Right, Rem?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the chocolate chip cookies.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to give a round of applause to Remy.
Yeah.
Honest to God, for bringing me
Yeah, those were
chocolate
good.
chip.
It's
Very
like
nice.
It's like the kids' bacon championship, and Remy wins. Yeah.
Oh, she was the only competitor in this
Yeah,
case.
that's why she wins. Hey.
By default.
By default.
Oh, it's giving me gas, though. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, we got to clear the man cave.
Oh, yes.
All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
anyone noticed that timer there actually gets bigger throughout the countdown?
Yeah, well, nobody cares. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Man Cave for the next edition of the SID View podcast. Glad to have you with us for another Tuesday night. Lots to talk about once again. Man Diego is in the house. What is up, brother?
Hey, it's that time of year again. Our March Madness brackets are a little funky. So aren't the ones with college basketball.
That's correct. So we have kept pace with reality, and our girl Rem is over here on the controls.
Am I going to be the one?
You are, but I am just not in a rhythm. I don't have a good joke today. I gotta get better at this stuff.
Yo! I'm in the studio with my boys. Let's do this.
That's how we roll. Glad to see you are still in a good rhythm. Our man Rob is over there in the bullpen, a little bit higher than he usually is. Wait a minute, that's not what I meant.
You man Rob back at it again, and let me tell you, great to see all your faces. I couldn't previously see them all, but we are running out of time this offseason. 2 weeks left till the icebreaker. We got a lot to talk about, boys and girls.
And girl. All right, yes, indeed we do. Glad to have you back with us. And so let's get started here by making sure that everybody is aware that if they want to join the live chat, you got to go to youtube.com/SIDView/join. Not only can you join the party and interact with us during tonight's show, but you will get bonus content every Thursday as usual. And don't forget now, we also have available on sidsview.com/sponsorship. You can go check out any options we have available if you want to be a part of the podcast. We also released the Sid's View schedule for our shoots down at Waterford and the single cam shoots for speedballhistory.com. So all those opportunities are available and online. You can check it out, see what's available, and let us know. Contact information is there as well. And we also want to mention that, our man, the pizza and Remy's chocolate chip cookies were good.
Woo!
And I'm getting old, so it's,
Oh, yeah.
you might hear some noises. My bad.
Good.
No.
Well, that's the Italian coming out in them.
It happens. So, listen, Jack Pixton is back in the house with us once again. He has been helping us with our March Madness brackets, the old cam up over at Stafford Speedway. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How we doing?
We are doing great as always. And lastly, before we get things started, let's get our friends over at Monaco Ford up and running on the scroll. They have once again partnered with us and will be with us all year. So we have a little results ticker going on down below. Diego, I had a little bit of a week last week. Finally got the Sid's View year in review video done.
It's about time.
I know. Took a little while.
Man.
I was a little behind, and I even told the Speedbowl that they had inquired if I could possibly get it done for the banquet, and just the time wasn't there for me, especially with the Stefanik doc. So, but I was telling you guys before, like, I've come a long way with the editing. The first year I did Sid's View, which was 2010, and had content for all the weekly events, and I basically started that edit for the banquet video basically a week after the Speedbowl was done. I did those Sid's View episodes for the last event, started editing it, and then basically worked on it until mid-January, so like a couple months. Now I had a day job back then, so it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But still, just I'm a lot more organized now with how I do things.
Well, it's.
Just able to crank
I mean,
it out
I gotta
pretty quick.
assume it's like anything. You do it enough, and you start, tuning in on your craft.
Yeah.
It just is like boom, boom. You know how you want things, and I remember when they first started coming out, man. I'm not saying they're any less awesome now.
Yeah.
But man, it was like the first of its kind.
Though nobody was doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Nobody was
and-
putting stuff on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really, really cool. And even to look back, and this is, kind of to toot your horn, but not really, but it is.
All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
But, I mean, seriously, to see where you started as something fun to do and something that you enjoyed to do, to where, I mean, Vault Productions is today, it's pretty remarkable. So for you to be able to make a living doing what you love to do,
pretty much now. Yeah.
is not a lot of people get to do that.
Yeah, I kind of reconnect. So I go on like LinkedIn like once a month. I rarely go on that site, but I just happened to and kind of connected with a few people and a couple people I hadn't talked to in a long time that I used to work in like corporate AV systems, and we were just chatting. And I was like, I still kind of pinch myself that like this is how I make a living now.
Yeah, right.
Doing YouTube stuff basically for racing.
Well, all around racing, so I mean
Pretty much.
it's a racing show.
Yeah.
And it's like I think we started racing with T-shirts, and it's just it's great.
Yeah, blossoms.
It's really great to be able to do what you love. And anyways, the latest one was awesome.
Yeah, so the year in review video, it is out on my YouTube channel. Posted the link on Facebook, on all the socials, and always have a lot of fun. Those are, I'm an editor at heart, so those are always a lot of fun. The hardest part really is finding the right music, and then once I get the good music that I know will go with, if it's got big beats, it's going to go with a lot of crashes.
Yeah.
If it's got some sort of kind of airy sort of vibe to it, I know it works good with the drones and.
So what is the deal with just so everybody knows, like when you pick music out for this?
Yeah.
So let's just hypothetically say you wanted to pick, let's say Emma won.
Yep.
And you wanted to play a song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Madonna.
Yeah. That's by Cyndi
Yeah,
Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper or whatever. What is the process for you to do that? I mean, is it cost? I know there's copyright infringements.
Yeah. So I mean,
That would be very
things have
difficult.
changed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if
Right.
everybody knows the difference there.
Things have changed a lot now since when I started. It used to be if you use Cyndi Lauper's music, it would get blocked and no one could see your video.
Okay.
Now, for the most part, there are some exceptions, but a large majority of musicians will allow you to use their music, and you just can't monetize your video. So whatever
Oh.
money you make, they make.
Right.
And so, when I first started, it was you really couldn't use any copyrighted music;
Right.
you'd get blocked. But I think as the world's changed and people have realized, like, oh, these creators are helping get my music out there, and it's a
Right.
way for me to make money.
Right.
And so you wish that there was some sort of like split with that, like if I understand you're using somebody else's music, but even if it was like you got 25% and they got 75%, if you at least got something for creating the music that was giving creating the content that was giving their music exposure,
Yeah. Right.
that would be more reasonable. But whatever, it's their music, and so but there are for a large part of the stuff that I do, there's a lot of sites now that you can buy
Yep.
music for people like me who are YouTubers, where if you really wanted to buy Cyndi Lauper's music, like for a movie, it would cost you, I mean, it's literally like $50,000 for 30 seconds, not even the whole song.
Wow.
And that's just if you wanted to be part of the theatrical release. And if you wanted it to then stream or what used to be DVDs, that's like another fee because it's another distribution channel. Like it's big, big, big money.
Wow.
Because I did look into it when I first started the doc, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm way out of my league here.
Yeah. Right.
when
right,
I was
right.
at film school, we had there was a website that we had access to that was like, forget the name of it, but it had a whole range of copyright free tracks that we
Yep.
could use depending on the vibe. So I don't know if that's something you've done.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
know-
yeah. So there's a handful of them now that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like the music used to be really bad, and now you can find some
Right.
really decent music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
and it used to be you'd have to pay like $30-$40 like per song, but then they got into the business of you buy a subscription
yeah.
for however much money a month, and you can just download infinite songs. I mean, I tend to do that because if you're making a lot of short-form content, you don't have to pay like the same 4
Yeah,
songs.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
roll
like
through
in
over and over again.
In the beginning of the year, I did exactly what Rob said. I bought a subscription, and then I went through and I bought a bunch of music for the Stefanik doc and the year in review
Yeah.
and some Monaco mod stuff I was doing. Like I just kind of stockpiled it. Now I'm done with it, and then I canceled the subscription. So,
Right.
but it was still cheaper than doing it individually. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So, all right. I don't think anybody else cares about what we're talking about. So let's get back to the racing stuff. let's get right to the good old weekly update. Let's giddy up.
All right. Want to thank Fowler's Auto Wrecking for this week's edition of the Weekly Update.
Giddy up.
Ryan Preece finished third in Vegas behind Daniel Suarez and first-time race winner Josh Berry. Preece equaled his career best finish in the Cup Series, going back to Talladega of 2019. Josh Berry was the 20th different driver to win for Wood Brothers Racing.
Dude, how?
Dude, y'all ready to write off the season?
Who?
Yeah, what are you
no,
talking about?
no. We were never ready to write off the season. You are, we were just bummed that he didn't come out of the gates stronger.
No, I'm just busting your ball. I was right there with you.
Yeah, but how about Barry? Yo, he's been legit every
yeah.
week in that Wood Brothers car.
Yeah. Right.
He's been great, and so I remember even Tapley had said something like 2 34-year-olds first win and Preece in third.
Right.
It's great for 34-year-olds out there.
Like he is truly a grassroots guy. I mean,
Right.
not too long ago he was a weekly series champion, which is like any series that you'll see at these local
Yeah.
short tracks, driving street stocks. I mean, he made it the old-fashioned way,
Yeah.
so to speak. So to see someone who really had to work their way up the chain and didn't sort of just fall into the ride by family ties or anything like that, that's even if I don't personally like him on the track, I mean that's something I always
How
am
do you
gonna root
not
for.
like him
Right.
on the track though?
No,
I mean
100%.
he's like in the minority because he's got his by himself. Even though he's teamed up with Penske, he's the only Wood Brothers car,
Right.
and he's doing it. Right? I mean, he's doing it. He's been
Right.
competitive.
Sorry.
Yep.
I was going to say, how about those old school fire suits?
I was
that
gonna
they
So
say that.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were cold as hell.
Oh, they
Yeah,
were
they were
so
sick.
Yeah, they're
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
The car looks great. I still love the look
Yeah.
of the car.
It's always got to look great, dude. They
Right?
never change it. It
The
never
Wood
looks
Brothers
bad. It's a
cars-
turtle.
They remind it's like old blue on the mod tour.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was just so impressed by how dominant they were at the end of the race, and Ryan Preece, like he was no joke, and I was talking to Waddell today, and I will, hey, make sure you just, I know he talks to Ryan all the time. If
Yeah.
you talk to Ryan, just tell him I said great job, because there's been times we've been hard on him here, and it's not that we were hard on him and trying to be hard on him. It's just that you're bummed because you're
Right. It's
Yeah,
frustrating.
we're over anxious to
or
see him
over
succeed.
anxious,
For
yeah.
sure.
And so to finally see him getting the success that I think's been coming,
right.
and like I said, I was watching last week. I'm like, all right, he's beating his teammates. As long as he beats his teammates, I'm feeling good.
Well,
Right.
like I said last week, I mean, you had 2 super speedways or 2 super speedway style racetracks. Atlanta's not a super speedway.
Yeah.
And you had Coda.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2 so-called standard tracks that we've run so far in the season, he's finished 15th and 3rd.
And a mile and a half's so hard.
They are.
They're
That's
not
the bread
easy
and butter
for
of the
him.
sport.
Yeah, they're not easy for him. He's not notoriously good at mile and a half tracks.
Right.
So to come home 3rd was a great day. And he was coming at the end of the race. It wasn't like he was hanging
Yeah,
on.
for sure. He was working his way up.
He was on the aggressive end of the stick, which was even better to see.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So let me ask you, because I was, Tisha and I were out on a long overdue date night, so I was not watching it. But were you guys mad that they did not interview him at the end of the race?
I thought, New Englanders are going to be mad because they all were dying. They're waiting for this, right?
Is it standard? I don't watch enough. Cup
It is
races.
standard.
Yeah,
that
they
they
usually
don't.
go through the full top 5.
I don't think they do. They don't. They don't always. I mean, because I'm always interested in looking at that. May be more of a story sometimes than. I mean, interviewing the winner is great,
Right.
but if there's somebody that finished 4th and had their best run of the year, and is sitting on the side of the car pouring water over his head, and they don't even interview him, like
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it's about.
it depends a lot on the broadcast, end. Right. I mean, it depends a lot on the time block.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they usually at least get to 3rd. I don't know if they if the race ran a little long and they finished. Because I was in a car and I was watching. So once the race was over, I turned it off. I was like, I'll just watch interviews later. But then I heard they didn't interview him. I was like,
Well, I think
did they have 8 minutes left to go in the show or what?
Yeah, I think what happens, and Dan Riley was exactly right. It's like
Yeah, they're saying they ran.
it's like so when Flow Racing is on Thompson and they're doing the tour race, right? And that race is supposed to start at 3:00, and let's say the mini stocks are before, and they had a long red, and it's 3:58, and they only got 5 laps in. What do?
You run the 5 laps after the tour race.
That's right.
Right.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They've got times. They got another show and
Yeah.
commercials, and so it just doesn't work. I wish
Yeah.
they would block off more, but
Yeah, but I don't think it was like they intentionally didn't interview him because he was not as known or something like that. I really think they would have gotten to him if the broadcast didn't end. They don't really do a dedicated
Yeah.
post-race show anymore. It's just kind of, all right, race is over, checkered flag, we'll talk to the winner and a few more guys if we can. All right, next program.
well,
right?
could you imagine, right? So, we're all rooting on Ryan, of course, right? Because he's a true hometown guy for us, right? How about everybody else that's racing? Everybody's got a hometown guy,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Not just us, right? So how many times do other people feel that way? Like, damn, why didn't they interview him? Right? He just finished 6th tonight or 5th.
Right.
So I mean, you're never going to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You're just
True
happy
story.
that he finished 3rd. Hell yeah! Can I get a hell yeah for Preece?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Oh, see,
right.
Jack likes to do it too.
Oh yeah, Jack.
give you
Can I
a
get
high
hell yeah!
That's good enough.
What
All
else
right.
you got?
Preece will also compete in 2 Monaco modified tri-track races this season alongside racechoice.com. First at Thompson on the 14th of May, and then July 16th at Stafford.
Awesome.
GoPro
awesome.
cameras reserved already.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see
Are
you then,
they?
Ryan.
Are they? What a suck up!
What are you talking about?
This is awful. No,
That's business, guys. Big
No, but-
star. He loves the cameras. I got the cameras. Let's go.
It's going to be great traction for the series. It really
Yeah.
is. I mean, they're already obviously on the up and up, as we've talked about many times, and having Ryan come back,
Yeah. it's
off
great.
of what, especially if the Cup season keeps going well for him, maybe he puts a race win together
So-
before the Stafford show.
isn't somebody driving his car too? His other car, or is it Luke Baldwin
Yeah,
driving
Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the tri-track?
Yeah.
I mean, how awesome. I mean, listen, the tri-track is like, they're killing it.
It's becoming the place to be.
Right. I mean, like, you got Baldwin there full time.
Yeah.
You've got Preece showing up for races.
They got the good mojo going into the season.
They got the good mojo,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Luke Baldwin's going to be very beneficiary. He's going to be a beneficiary of sharing those notes with Preece.
Dude,
On that car.
I think, you know, listen, I could say Luke Baldwin's underrated, but he's not because he's got a truck ride. Whether he paid for it or not,
That's true.
he's got a damn good truck ride, and he's that good.
Yeah.
And so I watch a lot of races down south whenever I can, whether on Flow or Race in America. And I know when he drives for Walker Motorsports, he's always up front.
Right.
And I love watching it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, good job.
Kyle Busch and Daniel Hemrick have declared their intent to enter the inaugural Memorial Day Clash 200 on Tuesday, May 27th at Oxford Plains Speedway.
Who's that? Kyle Busch?
Kyle
Yeah.
Busch, yeah.
Kyle Busch is running Oxford Plains?
Yeah.
Who else?
Daniel Hemrick.
Oh,
Hemrick,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard Kyle Busch is looking for some new crew guys this week. You guys hear about that?
Well, what happened?
His
What-
tire fell off. So that's a
yeah.
big
Oh,
no-no
yeah.
now.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. I got wait. No, then my ADHD is kicking in
Hey,
once again.
It was actually the wheel, right? It was in.
It was
yeah,
the
it
whole-
Yeah,
more
the entire wheel,
Yeah.
the whole wheel fell off.
Yeah.
It was the one lug, and it wasn't tight.
Did any of you guys watch the truck race?
No.
I did.
You
Dude,
did.
insanity.
So, anyways, right? So Tyler Ankram's very fast,
Right.
right? So I watch him week in and week out. We met him years ago down at Tricon when he was driving for Tricon, right? So I feel like I have a connection with him. We hung out at the wedding with him, so I kind of root him on.
Yeah.
He gets done, right? They interview him. Did you hear his interview? He's
I
like,
was asleep.
he's like, my dashboard didn't work again. My fuel gauge is not working. This team continually brings trucks that are unready for the races, and I don't know when they're going to start bringing some trucks that are good, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, this guy is rolling his team
I know.
so bad.
That's not what
Yeah.
you want to say.
Dude, we're like in the fourth race of the
I know,
season.
I know,
You
give me
are
some time.
rolling them so bad.
Right.
Yeah,
Even
don't
if you're
want to.
thinking that, you don't say
You don't
that
say it,
crap.
yeah.
And you say, okay, you guys, can we have a meeting at the shop? Because
Right.
this is getting old. My parents are paying for a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
And we keep bringing trucks that. So he's got a pit road speeding penalty. He had the fastest truck pretty much on the track.
Right.
Or damn near close it. He gets speeding penalties. And he gets on the post-race interview. And it was just bad after bad. And he just kept getting worse and worse. He's like, how do they want me to know how fast I'm going? Because every time they bring a truck, nothing works.
Oh my god! So how did
None of the digital gauges work. This is like the third week now. I mean, what are you going to do this all year? I mean, this is how he's talking.
Right. Well,
I'm
how did
thinking,
you think of this
wow.
from Kyle Busch? Oh, well, because that is a very Kyle Busch-esque comment.
If I was the car owner, I'd be like, dude, get your shit and get the hell out of here. I don't care how much money you're bringing to the table. You know what I
Suck it.
mean? I mean, whatever. So, anyways, there we go again.
You can suck it.
Oh, yes.
No, but that race was very good. It was
Oh,
better.
yeah.
It was better than the Cup race.
Dude, I love this.
I mean, I had to stay up late to watch it. It ended at what, like 12:30?
Yeah.
It was worth it though, very much so.
Joey Dwarin wins the pass opener at Hickory Motor Speedway, and Spencer Davis wins the Easter Bunny 150
Mm-hmm.
down in Hickory. So.
Easter Bunny 150. When the hell is Easter?
Well, Easter is still a few weeks away, so.
Oh.
But
Oh,
just
listen,
semantics.
there was some fireworks there, man. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch any of that stuff, but Spencer Davis got passed pretty clean by is Joey Doran. Is that his name?
Dwyron.
Dwyron.
Dwyron, yeah.
And then Spencer Davis pretty much just drove him bad,
Yeah.
real bad.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out well, and they were wanting to throw Spencer Davis out.
Oh, really?
Well, people were, because I think Cole Butcher came from up north and they banned him or something for cleaning people out. I'm not sure the whole story. I'm sure somebody like Scott or on the live feed knows more, but I was reading articles about it, and obviously I have some interest. I watched Spencer Davis down at Speed Weeks, the team he's with, the Kennedy team. They're super fast, and they bring a top-notch car, whether it's a Pro or the Super. They're really good, and Joey is really good. So and Hickory's a tough track. So these northern boys are going down there to a place that Spencer runs pretty much. You could not say regularly, but it's like a home track to him.
Right.
So that shows you how strong Joey's team is. I don't say his last name because it's hard for me to say it.
Dwyron.
Dwyron. Yeah.
It is a weird one.
Woody Pitkat to run part-time on the NASCAR Modified Tour with Danny Watts Racing number 82. Pitkat will run select events, including all 3 races at Thompson, beginning with the Icebreaker on the 30th. Pitkat is also scheduled to compete in the NASCAR Mod Tour races at Monadnock. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize.
You got it.
On May 3rd and July 19th, along with the tour events at White Mountain on the 28th of June.
Danny Watts, is that the Lutz car? Or at one point it was Lutz?
yeah,
It was the
82.
orange 82
Yeah, the
at one
82.
point, right? Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That team is. Listen, Woody is a wheel,
Fantastic driver.
dude.
He's
A
driven
wheel.
for them before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they haven't won much. I remember Lutz got a win with them up at Thompson. I think I
Yep.
remember that was a big win for Danny Watt, and he's been in and out of the sport over the last couple of years. Always had pretty good stuff, I think, and it'd be interesting. To me, I always think you're as good as your team. I think that a lot.
Yeah.
So, and those guys have good crew chiefs and stuff.
Right.
I think Woody's the kind of guy that brings a 4th place car to a 2nd place finish or a 1st place finish. He's that guy.
Right.
He's a shoe. So,
The Smart Modified Tour returns to action this weekend with the King of the Modifieds at South Boston. Speedway.
it's a great event.
So, yeah.
You remember last year when Luke Baldwin
Yeah.
put everything on?
Yeah.
He tried to be like John Bavalacco, but he can't be like John Bavalacco.
Well, no one could be the king.
Nobody could be the
Nobody.
king like Bavalacco, but yeah, I don't know if I do know that I think Paul French and what's the kid's name with Kopchak? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. Come on, keep it going. What's his name? Hold on. Bello! Anthony Bello.
Good answer.
Yes, Anthony Bello is teamed up back up with Paul French, so I know they're running limited Smart Tour events. Maybe this might be one of them.
Maybe.
All
The
right, then.
King of the Hill.
That's all I got. Again, thank you, Fowler's Auto Wrecking.
All right. Well done there,
Word.
Jackarias.
Word them up.
Word to Fowlers.
Word to Fowlers.
All right, Reminator. Listen, it's that time once again
Oh, boy.
for the Waddell Communications Nostalgia Nugget.
He's going to love it.
All right, let the groove go a little bit there for you, right, before we get started. So I went deep in the archives. I got a little bit of an interesting little nugget about an event called the Fall Stinger. And I just love that name. It was a 100-lap modified race that was created by the legendary Harvey Tattersall at Westboro Speedway in 1972. The inaugural event was won by Fred DeSaro in the Bowler number 3 car. Massachusetts legend Deke Assel won it in 1973, and Bugsy Stevens won it in the Casella Woodchopper number 15 in 1974. When Tattersall bought the Speedbowl in early 1975, he took the Fall Stinger event with him, and it was held at the Speedbowl. Dick Dunn won the first Stinger held at the bowl, and Alan Pegg Goudreau's Buddha's Bullet number 3. And then in 1976, Riverside Park legend Bob Polverari won the Stinger for his only career Speedbowl win. The Stinger then went dormant for a couple years, 77 and 78, before returning for one final time in 1979 when it was won by John Rosati, which was his only career win. And it was actually a unique event that year. 1979, if some old-timers may remember this, but 1979 was a season that was dominated by Rick Donnelly. He bought a Troyer car. It was basically the first kind of Troyer car, a bought kind of chassis, and just kicked everybody's butt. I think it was 10 out of 13 races that he won that year. But ironically, with Rosati, he came down, he got into some sort of jingle there early in the race, went a lap down, and then he came through the field once to unlap himself, and then came back again and passed Donnelly for the win.
So he was real fast.
He was real fast.
He was real fast.
And the other nugget to throw out there is that was it for the Fall Stinger. It never came back after 1979. But interestingly enough, all those drivers I named from the days at Westboro and the Speedbowl are all near Hall of Famers who visited Victory Lane. So I just think that's a cool name, the Fall Stinger.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Almost
so
like the Howling Howler.
What was that?
The Halloween Howler.
Yeah, no,
Howl.
Howl. Yeah, that was the
that's a good one,
streeter
too.
race at the bowl.
Yeah, I used to
that
love
was-
those good nicknames are awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, let's keep it rolling. Our man Rob is ready down there in the bullpen for this week's Popcorn Stat Chat.
Want to give a shout out, as always, to the people over at Hoosier Tire East for making this segment possible. Now, we got some pretty relevant ones this week. Started off with my boy Preece here. What would it take for Preece's 2025 Cup Series season to be considered a good season?
I think if he can stay up mid-pack, like top 15 every week, I feel like that'd be a good goal. That or top 10 maybe. even.
I just want one win.
Serious.
I just want one win. I don't care if it's a Talladega, Martinsville, road course. Don't care.
So if he doesn't win, then would you think that the season is?
Well, not necessarily, but if he gets a win, to me, that's automatically like, all right, like this
Well-
is the year where you're taking
well,
off.
you know, like the third place
Right.
finish,
It felt like a win.
it's like you could breathe for a minute.
Right.
Like the monkey's off your back right now. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you finish third, and I know he's just probably going to go to work like he does every week.
For
He
sure.
approaches every week the same way,
Yeah, he ain't going to relax.
Yeah.
right? But subconsciously, you could take you could breathe a little bit, right?
Right.
The pressure on the chest isn't quite so large because you're producing,
Right.
right? So now I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he went on a little run, right? You
Yeah,
st-
because he can just race freely. You know. He
as
doesn't
soon
have
as
to-
you feel like you belong,
Well, you get the monkey off your back.
right, and you feel like you belong. You drive with different confidence. I think all that means something when you're driving, like you should be beating William Byron.
Yeah.
You beat William Byron,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Like he did last week. Drove by him on the way to the front, finished third. You know, so I would agree with you, Rob. A win would be spectacular. Top 15 in points, like Jeremy has said, is a great success because he's out of the top 25 the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, any sort of. I guess I just put the one win out there because I feel like if you have one win, like if you just rip off one win, you're kind of eyeballing like a 16th to like 20th place points finish maybe. I guess for me, it would solidify. I just want to see a playoff berth. I mean, I don't care if he gets out in
Serious,
round
right?
of 16. If he makes a round of 16, I mean, that's already a career year.
Listen, he gets a playoff berth. I'm buying a T-shirt.
I already got T-shirts.
I'm buying one. I've
I'll
never
buy
bought
more.
one. I'm going to buy a T-shirt. I'm going to buy a Ryan Preece T-shirt for sure. And I'm going to wear it on the show. In the round of, what is it? The round of 16? Is that what you
Yep.
said?
Yep.
I'm going to wear it that
Loud
day.
and proud, a round of 16,
Hell
baby.
yeah, baby. Let's
That's what I'm
go,
talking about.
Preece! All right,
yeah.
sorry about that. I'm getting a little excited over here.
It's hard not to. It's hard
I
not
love
to.
racing, man. I freaking love racing, and I love racing from Short Track America.
Yes.
I love racing from local homeboys and homegirls, right? Hell yeah, man. Come on, let's get it done, man. Give me a reason to sit on the couch and eat chocolate chip cookies
Right.
and watch the races. I want to put a little cheese on my popcorn and enjoy the hell out of this race. All right, it's getting a little carried away.
Yeah,
Let's
Yeah,
go.
we're going to move on here.
Get back after it. Rob.
So the SK Modified at Stafford saw their most individual winners since 2005 last season, right?
What division was this?
SK Mods.
Okay.
And a lot of people attribute it to like the new there's some rule changes. You got the tire rule, right? You got to buy a certain amount of tires. So you got a lot of shuffling around, different parity happening. Do you guys think we're going to see that again this year, or is someone going to sort of nail down this formula and break out?
I would be very surprised if anything changed. Last year was it was a run of different drivers going on streaks that just seemed to end. Like mysteriously, like how the hell?
I don't think one person's gonna like find out the key to the new system and dominate, but maybe there's a group of 7 or 8 that kind of go up a little more than the rest of the field.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna be. I'd be surprised they repeat having that many different winners again.
You would.
I think so.
I don't know, man.
It's
I
a
don't.
competitive division.
It's damn
so-
competitive. I'm going to tell you this: the days of people showing up with subpar equipment just isn't happening, especially at Stafford. And these guys are all showing up with new cars. They're showing up with good motors. The stuff is just unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you this, Andrew Moeller put it together last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he went through a little dry spell at the end, towards the end of the season, but I think that was more on him playing safe.
Yeah.
He was consistently, he didn't win like those guys, but he was almost a podium car every week, which is damn hard to do there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mikey Christopher could do it. He, every year I'm not going to jinx him, but he had a season like he had this year a few years ago, and then he came back the next year and he struggled a little, and I hope that doesn't happen to him, but those guys, they seem to be the team that really has their program together right now.
I agree with Sid where, like, I feel like the first 2-3 races, it'll be, like, shaking the rust off, but then I feel like as the season gets going, we'll get 10, 12, 15 cars that are consistently I'm gonna top, but I mean, who knows?
Right. I guess what I'm like, because I don't know, as you know, as much about the mechanical side of racing as I do about like the personality of the media side, and so I just wonder, like, you at the beginning of last year, you're bringing the old rule book, right, or the old book of notes. Even if the rule book is different, you're bringing the old notebook, right? So I don't know if for this year, they know how much tire wear they're going to see. They know about how the grip has changed race to race. People are going to accommodate for that. I just feel like someone might figure it out better than the rest of the field.
Do you know what's great about all this? Flow Racing has made it possible for everybody on the podcast, including myself,
follow every week
to watch this unplay in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Every week. And you get to see, just like watching this podcast, you get to learn the personalities of drivers like Rich Hammond, all these other guys. It's really awesome. It's it's something awesome to be part of every week and watch and keep up. I know it becomes part of our rituals on Friday night.
Yeah.
To work on the car. I got a nice big old 60-inch TV this year. It's going to look beautiful on Friday night with Flow Racing going.
All right, I got one more for y'all.
Okay.
So the Monaco schedule's out, right? They're increasing to 10 races, but they got some midweek events in there, right? Everybody's trying to do this Wednesday thing now. So I want to ask y'all, are the sacrifices that you make for midweek events in terms of like people being going to get there, right? Attendance could possibly be down. Are they worth it if you're able to run on a night where not that many other tracks are racing and the drivers can get there?
Well, that's Thunder Road. Right? They run a weekly, midweek schedule, full cars.
Yeah.
Right? Packed.
Right.
I don't know if that'll happen. Down here, like you could bring it up. When you run the Monaco and the ACT series on a Wednesday at Seekonk, I don't care if that race is run on a Monday or a Sunday. It's packed. Right?
Yeah, Open Wheel Wednesday always has a gigantic field of
cars. I thought
right.
It's been diminishing slightly over the years. It wasn't quite what it was, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that for sure. I remember you used to go there, but by the time the race started, I was a little jammed up, and so it didn't really matter. But when I watched that Wednesday race or that Sunday race this year with the ACT, that show's coming to Seekonk, right? They're teaming up with ACT on Wednesday. Is that happening this year?
I believe so. Tapley could probably confirm, but I think that is the case.
Yeah, but I don't know about a weekly program. Like Thompson obviously struggles like hell with their midweek schedule, so I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure people in the chat.
I mean, I think it depends on the time, right? Like I feel like in the summer, it's if you do a midweek, it's inevitable that people will turn up. But I think if you do it closer to, when people are at school, especially kids and stuff. It might be a little harder, but
and
I also think it depends on the event too.
Well, it's like the promotion, like, and somebody said that on here. Jeremy is, he's always got something nice to say.
Yeah,
what a nice guy Jeremy is. But anyways,
he's just thanking you for supporting our production.
No, but he's always got great comments too, like a lot of people on here.
Yeah,
but it's really about promoting in the events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's run some social ads. Let's do some things to get people in the stands.
Yeah.
Let's hype it up, right? Stafford does a great job with that. Every time they have a special event, it's hyped up, and it's always fun to go to.
Yep.
And you don't hype it up, and nobody really knows who's running and how could you be mad that nobody showed up? That's your
Yeah.
own fault.
Yeah, that is a lot of the trap they fall into because people just kind of assume that the regular like weekend word of mouth is going to carry over into when people got to go to work. I mean,
Right.
Wednesday's middle of the week.
Right.
For a lot of people, that's the worst day.
I could tell you this. When Thompson used to run on Thursdays back in the day, and we were running streeters, me and my brother, I absolutely loved it because, you know, you leave Thursday a little early. You're coming back to work on Friday, right? So Friday's an easy day. And then you're going racing again on Saturday. I used to love it, you know, but back then, Thursdays at Thompson was packed. You'd go up there for a weekly show, but they had the SKs. They had Teddy, Keith. They had everybody up there, Woody, you know, you name it. You know, they were all there racing. In the late models, you had Rick Gentes, all these guys racing. It was worth going to see. And I think what happens now is those guys are all gone, and the car counts fall short, and so don't the stands.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what that answer is. Promotions is probably one, but you know, the Tri-Track does a great job in the Act Series together. And that's a hard venue to fail midweek.
Right.
100%. Yeah, so then you get in this weird situation, I mean, because the main question was, is it worth it? But it seems to vary series by series, division by division, track by track.
Yeah.
A lot of other factors play into it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the stat chat, boys.
All right, my man.
And girls.
Well done as always.
And Remy's one of the boys, you know. It's like when you say guys, you're kind of just talking about everyone. They're not necessarily a guy, but, you know, you're one
They
of the
get on our
guys.
ass about
Yeah,
that at
thank
school
you.
for PE.
Really?
Yeah, they don't want us to say guys. They want us to say, like, friends, class.
Yeah, but, like, if you're one of the guys, I mean, you know.
All right.
You're one of the guys.
Moving on.
One of the guys.
All right, let's get down to the next segment here. Time for a little Legion Speedway. Did you know? What happened? What are you making noises over there for?
I just saw your computer screen, but it's okay.
Oh, all right then. So anyways, Remy got me all flustered. Oh,
Sorry.
so the Icebreaker's coming up.
Yep.
Did you know
Mm.
the Icebreaker was initially a 50-lap race where modifieds and super modifieds raced together?
What the hell?
That's right.
Wait, that's a
Ooh,
good
I
one,
like
Sid. That's a
that.
good one.
Now, as many people can tell you, if you're a stat nerd like myself, the origin of a lot of these Thompson races, Diego's making weird faces, is up for debate. Just kind of weird how, but from my archives, 1971, the 50-lap race was won by Bob Santos in a modified. Diego's wigging me
He's
out
tweaking
over here.
out. I don't know what the hell's going on.
In 72, it was won by Ali Silva and then Eddie West. Those were both super mods. And then in 1974, they were held as separate races, mods and super mods. And the last time super mods were there was in 1980. So I thought that was interesting.
They ran them together?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
The first few
Yeah.
years, right?
That's like running mini stocks with late models.
That'd be kind of sick, though.
What's that?
Mini stocks and late models on track at the same time.
Well, that would be great, huh?
Dude, they were testing at Charlotte. They were testing Cup, Xfinity, and Truck on track at the same time. I was like, future All-Star race idea? No, you haven't
No.
got it. All right, continue.
Yeah.
I don't want to take me off the screen.
Let's
now.
just continue on, shall we?
No, I freaking love Fro, man.
All right, it's that time.
Oh, my God.
It is the month of March.
My God, what's happening?
Selection
here?
Sunday for those that are
Oh,
in the college
yes.
hoop realm.
this
Selection
ought to be-
Sunday was the other day. And it's time to do our version of March Madness. So I'm going to hit you up with the full bracket that we have here so far. We're down to the Sweet 16,
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's gonna get messy.
and we have some barn burners to discuss today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we're going to do is, as usual, we will start with the G-metric bracket. And we have Kevin Gambacorta, who is currently undefeated so far. And he is going to go up against Paul, the very popular Paul Verricchio Jr.,
What I don't understand here.
who's had a couple of barn-burning victories here.
Seriously, Verricchio just keeps moving on. 3-2, 3-2.
Yeah.
He's been knocking them down.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Big names.
How does that happen?
Well, I mean, listen,
No, I'm not saying he deserves it, but he just
it's the madness of March.
he squeaks by every week.
Yeah.
Well, last week it looks like he was 5-0, right?
No, 3-2.
No, 3-2 both
Oh,
weeks.
excuse me. Meyer was the 5-0. That's right.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
a tough. He had a
So
tough.
Vericchio's
battle.
3-2 both weeks. Gamba Quarter has been undefeated up to this point. So let's get it started. Let's go over.
People are already getting ready to get mad at the chat.
Let's go
All right.
over to Diego. Why don't you start us off here?
Well, you know, Kevin Gambacorta is going to be hard to beat at Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
That's been multiple years now as a track champ. Is that true?
He is
Yep.
2 late models,
Back to
and
back.
then he's got him in the streeters and limiteds as well.
The guy knows the track, and
Indeed.
he's got BFR kind of in his back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is the year he gets uprooted. Vericchio's been turning up the wick.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, last year was a little taste. And when you drive with confidence, things happen a little different. And this might be the year for Paul. So I'm going Paul Vericchio here.
Wow.
Sorry,
Okay.
Kevin.
Well, I'm going to counter that when I went with Kevin to remain. Well, he's not undefeated now. You just screwed him. But
Yeah.
I picked Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, listen, each
Yep.
of them rightfully so. They went head-to-head all year.
Yeah. Jack, over to you.
I also went with Kevin.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
2-1
2 to
to the
1.
champ. Reminator, what do you got?
I chose the same pick as Diego.
Oh,
Wow.
It
I
comes
know.
down to Fro,
Fro.
boy.
Tiebreaker to Fro.
You know how much I love an upset, boys. I want Kevin Gambacorta.
Wow.
He's too cool. He's too collected, man. I mean,
I understand.
it almost feels like if you could visualize him inside the car, he's got shades on the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, I gave it to him.
All right. So now let's go to Adam Gray versus our boy Matt Clemente. Remy, you've had an eventful week of picks. Why don't you start this one off? Go ahead.
Get ready. People are going to be lighting up the chat real quick.
I chose Matt Clement. I guess no one else feels.
Well,
okay.
feel free to defend your pick.
I mean,
You want me to?
yes,
yeah,
please.
absolutely.
I saw him have bad luck and heat races and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but he still ended up doing really good for the features. So that's why I went with.
You didn't make your pick any better.
He did good in the features. That's how I picked my guys, too, actually.
Well, you almost make Matt sound bad.
No, because he
No,
just
he's-
had bad
he's-
luck.
He's not
in
a
my
bad.
opinion.
No,
Like,
he's
it
not. He's
wasn't just-
fantastic.
He is very.
Yeah.
He's damn good.
And he's
at
one of the
what he
most
does.
suave guys in the garage,
He is too.
He's Mr. Hollywood over there.
Yeah, he is damn good week in and week out. And I know I haven't picked him, but I like Matt Clemente very much too.
But you picked?
I didn't pick Matt Clemente.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Adam Gray is a workhorse, boy.
Right.
Woo. Bit of pack of
Rob,
lunch.
what did you got?
Well, I was berated heavily for my last pick involving Adam Gray. So, completely uninfluenced and by my own accord, I picked Adam Gray this week.
Mm-hmm. Jack?
Matt Clement is a top guy from the second of interaction I've had with him, but I went with Adam Gray.
Whoa,
Yeah.
okay.
Same here. Same here. All right. So that'll wrap it up for the G metric bracket. We'll get back to the pairings for our final 8 later. Let's go over to the sweet stock bracket. And you know what? We're going to have Remy start us off on this one as well, if you don't mind. Remy, the battle of the Travises. Travis Hydar, Travis Downey. The floor is yours.
Please, I am all ears, Reb.
Y'all are making me stressed.
Well, the
now.
laughs kind of give the pick
Oh,
away.
this-
Travis Downey.
Mhm. That's it. No justification, no explanation, thought process.
Y'all made fun of me for Matt Clement, so I don't feel good.
I'm just asking questions here.
I don't feel.
Okay.
I have-
Diego, please help us.
I mean,
Did it upset you?
upset me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing this to upset me? Are you? Look at you. Look at you. You're like a little freaking kid. All right. How do you not take Hydar in this battle?
I mean,
Right.
I don't know.
Remy should have said, like, Travis had bad luck.
And broke.
Could have got a flat tire. Right.
Right.
Downey did win the championship,
Yeah.
Like the 21 cut his tire or something. Something happened. Battling up front.
but not in your race, you're saying. Yeah, mine either. Jack, what do you got?
Yeah, Haidar.
All right. That's the 3 we need. Rob?
The guy won half the freaking races.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, do I even have to say?
Congrats to
No.
Downey though. I've been kind of bad
No,
talking Downey.
strong performance.
Downey had a great year last year, obviously.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the sweet stock bracket. Adam Petty, 3-2 last week, win over Norm Root against Ryan Waterman. A highly contested affair against Trotomania. So, Seekonk champ versus the Thompson champ. Let's see how we want to do this. Diego, start us off.
Is there anybody else to pick in the street stocks?
I mean,
the only way this guy loses is if he breaks to me. I mean, I really like him.
and can I have a name with who you're talking about?
Ryan Waterman.
Okay, that's all we need. Yeah, all right. Remy.
Gosh. Adam Petty.
I mean, do you watch the races?
Yeah. Okay, listen. I know Ryan Waterman is really strong. Like, I'm fully aware of that. But I don't know. I felt like I needed to go with Adam Petty.
I see where this is going.
Rob.
The Force sent her.
I see exactly where this is going.
Rob, over to you.
Now, I'd love to go, Remy, what a terrible pick.
So here we go.
But the reality is, I picked Adam Petty.
Oh!
I did.
Yes!
Listen, all we talk about, Waterman is a beast. Waterman's a beast. I know. And it's come down to 4 in the last lap. Waterman's probably got a good shot. But when I watched that Seekonk division over there, dude, I mean, that is like the toughest one that I've seen. Especially last year. Every week we were tuning into that. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Amen.
I had to pick him. If
Well-
you can do good in that
Well,
field,
Adam
you can do
Petty
good anywhere.
is good, though. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
it's
so here's the thing, right? So that's 2-1 Petty. And Petty, we consistently called that the best division of the year. And he did win 5 races.
right.
But I still picked Waterman.
Oh, my God.
So that's 2-2.
2-2 over to Jack.
Mr. Pixton.
Well, I'm not gonna really hype this up much because from what I saw of him when he was racing full time at Stafford, the guy's cold as hell. That guy being Ryan Waterman.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there we go. All right, we'll revisit the sweet stock bracket there when at the end here. Let's move on to the tube chassis bracket. Got some barn burners here. So Dylan Estrella, Jacob Rowdy Burns. Jack, why don't you start us off with this one, buddy?
I went with Dylan Estrella.
Rob, over to you.
Excuse me, I lost my picks. Come back to me, please.
All right, Remy?
I didn't go with Dylan. I went with Burns.
You went with Rowdy Burns. Okay. I also went with Rowdy Burns.
So what's that?
That's
2-1?
2-1. Rob, are you back with us?
One more second, please.
All right.
You gonna ask Jack his picks? I mean, where?
No, Jack already
went,
did.
dude.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Rob picked Estrella.
He did.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it's over to you, Diego.
Well, you know, this kid here, he's a workhorse.
And
And after last week of looking at everything and wins,
yeah,
I had to go with Jacob Burns here.
The
Jacob
rowdy
Burns,
one.
rowdy one
Yeah.
knocks off Dylan Estrella here. So he's moving on for me.
okay. No issue there from me. That's okay. Now we got Vinny Arenagato, who I believe went winless but finished second like 7 times, and was the Connecticut State NASCAR champ against Mr. 100 and something wins down at the bowl, Jason Palmer, who had a 3-2 win over Brody last week. Let's go with Diego. Start us off.
Palmer's it for me.
Palmer, Jack, over to you.
I went with Aaron Nagato.
Aaron Nagato. I as well. You know, I'm a historian, so if you have 100 wins, so 2-1 Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
Rob,
I went with Aaron Nagato.
Ooh, now we got to rely on Remy.
Listen, I know Palmer puts down the wins. Yes, it is true. But, I mean, look at the competitiveness, the two divisions. You put them side by side. I mean, Aaron Gatto getting second in that division.
It's
an impressive feat. It is.
Mm-hmm. Remy, tiebreaker to you. Can't wait to hear it. Go ahead.
It's Jason Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't do that to you, Diego.
That puts a good next round
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
All right,
Where's
we'll-
that race
we'll-
at? Seekonk or Waterford?
We'll determine that here.
Yeah,
We'll
I
go
mean, that
next
is a
week.
big factor.
Yes.
All right, the truck off bracket. So, Rick Martin, another 100+ wins kind of guy, near Hall of Fame this year, against Todd Taylor. How we want to do this here? It doesn't matter here. Jack, go ahead.
I went with Rick Martin.
Mm-hmm. I went against what I just said because I picked Todd Taylor.
Damn.
Wow.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
What did you do?
I unfortunately had to go with Rick Martin.
The crafty vet.
Yeah, he's won so much.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
Oh,
the guy can
man.
win.
He's nasty.
Reminator.
I went with Rick Martin.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, 2-2?
No, that's 3-1. That's the clinch.
That's the clinch.
Rob, I believe, went with Rick Martin
Yeah,
as
I
well,
got
right?
Rattle Rick. Moving on.
All right.
That's the old tighten up.
And now, one of the matches that we have been waiting for. This one's a doozy. Diego, start us off on this one, if you will, please.
Well, my boy is Charles Beal.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. But Chapman has been firing on massive amounts of cylinders lately.
Yeah.
More than 8.
Oh, dude.
That's for damn sure.
He just has been running through. So, Charlie, don't kill me. But I had to go Chapman here because he is running.
Wow.
Yeah, he's running.
Mhm.
Oof.
But I love you, Beal.
That's not going to go over well.
I know.
Remy?
So, here's the thing.
You know it's going to be a good pick now. We got the so in there.
Here we go.
I thought about it this way. I felt like in my head each time Tyler Chapman was in front of Beal. But Beal always hits Chapman's bumper and moves his butt out of the way. So I went with Beal.
Went with Beal.
Yeah.
Okay. Jack, over to you.
I picked Tyler Chapman.
2-1 Chapman. Rob, over to you.
I got the real deal Beal.
Yes.
2-2 to me. Huh?
I hope you take Beal.
I had a tough one with this one.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
This was literally, I sat on this
Probably
one for a while.
The two best in the division. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously in all the trucks, I think, to the two best head-to-head.
And I probably switched my pick like 5 times
Yeah.
before I finalized it. And I just thought Tyler Chapman was going to have some sort of bad luck.
Yeah. All right. Did you take him?
And I went with Charlie Beal.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right
Yeah.
there, baby.
Right. Good job. Beal moves on. That's great.
All right, so let's see what we got here. Here we go. So, the final 8,
Oh, that's
absolute heavyweight
Oh,
yeah,
this
that's
is
insanity.
awesome.
Insane.
Kevin Gambacorder, Adam Gray. That's a 1-3 matchup for the G-metric bracket to see who will win that. And then we're going to go to the Sweet Stock bracket. Another doozy of
Very
a matchup.
iconic.
A very, a year ago it was even more intense, but it's
Seriously.
still Travis Hydar versus Ryan Waterman.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one.
It's fresh in the memories. Many.
And then over here in the tube chassis bracket, we have the 2 seed versus the 5 seed. So a little bit Cinderella
Yep.
story with Rowdy Burns. That's pretty good.
Not
And-
surprising.
No, not at all. Not at all. This was probably, I would say, the I don't know, the most even bracket. Like this was when we first started. This was the one I had the hardest time saying
Yeah.
who's going to make it to the end.
Right.
And then we have Rick Martin against the Cinderella
my
story
God.
left.
What a
The real
matchup.
deal, Charles
Oh,
Beal.
that's so awesome.
The 6th seed coming through.
The 6th seed. He is the lowest seed remaining. So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
All
so-
right, Bill.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Lot
That's
of
good
fun
I feel
stuff.
like I'm watching a race right now. Yeah.
So a lot of fun with that. We will post the updated full bracket on social. And next week, we will decide who the final four is.
That's great.
Yeah, a lot of fun with this one. Diego, my friend, are you ready?
Well, possibly.
Because as you know, we have a new segment this year. And you, my friend, are in charge of it.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's just take it down a notch. As you know, want to bring our friends over at Monaco Ford back in the mix.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
We got to drop them for the brackets to make sure they're seen clearly. And now it's time for some viewer mail.
It's just some great art. Great art. I love it. I want to thank Ed Marceau Firewood and Land Clearing for this awesome segment that I get to do, which is called Viewer Mail. I encourage everybody watching to please, participate in this. Send in some emails. We've been getting emails lately, and I don't care what kind of questions they are, and I'd love to answer them and do some things.
Diego, look at the chat.
I know, they
The
said you're
Beals,
still
they
loved.
still love you,
They still
Diego.
love, guy.
They're in chat.
Okay, well, I'm not looking at the chat right now.
Yeah,
Thank you
he's
very
busy.
much.
Oh, sorry.
This is my segment. Can I do my thing, please?
By all means, the
Damn it.
spotlight's on you, guy. Go ahead.
I love you, Rob.
Yeah,
All right.
I love you too, Diego.
All right, so here's the question, right? Here's the question, all right? So we've done some things lately about families and racing, and I know we've missed a bunch. And it was a lot of fun to do that segment.
Yeah.
And I'm
That was
happy.
a Thursday video. For
Yeah,
the
and I'm
members only.
happy, members only. And if you're not a member, you should become a member because there's a lot of families and history of racing, even up to now, that people should really get to know about. And so one of the questions were, you overlooked a great racing family for your Mount Rushmore. The Fuller family, multiple tracks and generations. Jeff, Rick, Bobby, from back in the 80s and 90s to now Meg. Plus, there's also Rob Fuller from LFR.
Of course.
Great point.
Yeah.
And
Old Westboro, they have their roots at Westboro, and of course, Rick and Jeff are both NASCAR mod champions. Yeah, it's funny. We did that video, and like the honorable mentions after we went around and gave our final, our Mount Rushmore was even longer segment, and I felt like we dropped a gazillion names, and then one of the first comments was the Fullers, and there's other ones. Speaking of the Beals, is the Beal Yarrington family.
yes.
And of course, Jason was the first fourth generation winner at the Speedbowl. So that is another one we missed. There's also the Anderson Membrino
Oh, yeah.
family, all the way back to Jap, who recently passed away,
Yeah.
near Hall of Famer. And Tony and Junior and Tommy was running. And then there's Bill Anderson and Sammy Anderson. And another one is the Morants,
Yeah.
also fourth generation winners.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to Art Sr., Art Jr., and Greg. And then there was Art the third race, and then you have Greg Jr. and Taylor Marie, and now you have
There was a lot of them.
and then her son Connor.
Yeah.
So that was another great family with a long history in the sport. So yeah, listen, when we do these discussions, we by no means are trying to be the be all end all.
Yeah.
It's just a fun thing to talk about, and the fact that we missed so many is
Well,
actually
there is
cool.
so
That's
many.
right. That's what makes it cool. is that
Yeah.
there's
Even
so
like
many.
even throughout that video itself, we were like getting to the end of it, kind of wrapping things up. We'd be like, "Oh, what about this
Yeah.
family? What about this family?"
Yeah,
They were
like
just
we
coming to
didn't,
us left
we
and
didn't
right.
even like name the Coates. I'm
I
like, oh
know.
my God, how do you not name
Right.
the Coates family?
Right.
Right? There's so many different families in racing that have just been awesome. And I always thought too, when we did that video, and it's not only about wins and losses to me, it's people that get people involved in racing
Yeah.
for one way or another, and making sure it stays entertaining so
Right.
people come, even stuff like this. So, but yeah, man,
You got another one?
I do have one more.
Okay.
All right, are you guys ready for this one?
All right.
Okay. We've got this. It just says question or answer. I'm not sure how to put it, but it says, I think you guys should make an episode or hashtag or /talk about how everyone got involved in racing that is on the podcast.
Yeah.
So this is a great opportunity for people that don't know who Fro really is, or Remy or Jack. I think most people know who myself and Sid are because we've been in the game a long time, but you guys are relatively new faces to the racing world
Right.
and real raw, considering. So I'll leave
Yeah.
it at that and let
Well,
Sid
ladies
drive
first.
the bus
there.
here. Yeah.
Remy,
Yeah,
start us
Remy.
off here.
Okay, so just to go back to like just NASCAR in general, I didn't start watching till 2012 when Jeff Gordon flipped in Daytona.
Okay.
I don't
Wow.
know why I remember that, and I was like, oh my god,
that was a good
Like,
one.
Yeah, so that got me really into NASCAR for some reason, and then to how I got to Stafford for college, I had to go do an internship and everything, and the person my mom was dating at the time, he always told me, let's go to Stafford. But my workaholic self could never get myself to Stafford because I'm always working on a Friday at that time. And so I just signed up, wrote something to,
Do the internship.
yep. And then I got.
And what
I
year
made
was
it.
that?
2021.
So this is going to be your 5th season there?
Yeah.
Nice.
God, that's crazy.
All right. Robert, what do you got?
Yeah, so I, mean,
I
I don't know
love
if I'm
that,
going to have
baby.
as cool of a story as these guys. The reality is, I wouldn't say I come from a racing family necessarily. I mean, my dad, he worked on Limited Sportsman with Scott Zouza at Thompson in the mid-'90s.
Oh, yeah.
They put together a win or two, I've been
Scotty
told.
Souza.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the reality is, as soon as my memories crystallized, I was already watching Cup every Sunday, like much like many will grow up watching football or whatever. I mean, that was the Cup series for me.
Crystallized.
Dude, it's like the consciousness, it starts to form, right? 4, 5, 6, and from that moment on, I was watching Cup.
I love you, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
it became an obsession around 2010, 2011-ish. I think there was this one race at Talladega. They were 4 wide, 2 laps to
So
go.
that led to short track racing for you?
Yeah,
Or did you-
so,
because your dad used to go.
Well, I mean, he had brought me to Waterford, Thompson, Stafford occasionally, because it's a little more out of the way throughout my entire life. That's how I got to love guys like Keith Rocco. You know, one of our favorite things was we would listen to Keith Rocco's radio, and you know him, he gets to be hot during those races. So that was like half the entertainment for me was actually listening to the radio, you know,
Yeah.
hearing all the personalities. So I'd been a diehard fan for about a decade, and it became time to go find an internship, go find job opportunities. I was like, may as well swing for the fences, go try to do the internship program at Stafford. That worked out. A few months later, get in contact with Sid, run GoPros. Okay, you know, whatever. I don't really want to do that, but I want to do in racing, so
Yeah, right.
it all started snowballing.
Yeah, it's
Now
great.
here I am in this chair.
Hey, listen, real quick. I mean, the internship, it's being brought up here.
yeah.
It streams back to where we were last week.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford's doing a kick butt job.
They are,
I bringing youth back into racing.
right? And they're the only ones to do it like that.
It's great.
They really are.
It's really great.
Jack, what do you got?
So growing up, I never was really into racing. It never was really a part of my life in terms of, you know, what my family was consuming at the time. So the spring of my senior year of high school, which was 2022, my chemistry teacher at the time, Tim Perkowski, who, if he's watching, you're an absolute legend because you got me.
That's my guy, Tim.
You got me into this
That guy, Tim.
beautiful
Yeah.
sport.
That's it. That's the guy.
I am forever grateful for that guy because he's the one that got me in this chair today.
TGT, that
Dude,
guy Tim.
Love that guy. Awesome guy.
Anyway, he knew at the time that I was interested in video production, and I was going to go to film school. Actually wearing the shirt that I went to film school at. Shout out Huston University.
This guy's awesome. I love Jack.
Anyway, so Tim hooked me up with Jeremy at Stafford.
Another internship.
Another internship.
Damn.
Started working there June of my senior year of high school, and then did part time there. Left when I left for school, and then came back the following year. So I'm going on my 3rd or 4th full season there at Stafford. My 2nd or 3rd year was when Rob came in, I think, and him and I got pretty close, along with a couple other guys in the trailer.
My man Sam.
Shout out Sam if he's
Yep.
watching, Matt, all those guys. But yeah, so hit it off with Rob, and yeah.
And here you are
here
now.
I am.
Right.
I met Sid at, I want to say, what was it, the Sizzler or the Final, something like that.
Probably the Sizzler, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, up on the
Came
rooftop.
up to the
Him and
top.
I were up on the rooftop. I said, "Hey, cool podcast." We dapped up.
Yep. I thought, ooh, people are watching. All
Yeah,
right, cool.
yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Rob texted me. What was it like back in sometime in the early winter, like December-ish, January?
It wasn't too long ago. I
Too
think it
long
might have been
ago?
this year.
Yeah, sometime this year, and said, "Hey, Sid is looking for an extra guy," and I was like, "Why not?"
Giddy-o.
I knew nothing the first day I
Yeah.
hit record and Bonza said we're live on Flow, and I've been just trying to be like a sponge and absorb everything I can, and credit to Bonza. I know he's in the chat. Credit to Bonza because he's taught me so much just about the sport and everything else. So
They're great stories, man.
Yeah.
They really
Bonza,
are.
I love you, man. You're a freaking, again, a legend, and I am forever grateful for him, for Tim, Jeremy, you guys, everyone I've met throughout however long I've.
Well,
been
the
doing
racing
this.
community is awesome.
So
Yeah.
I have
Right?
fallen
Oh,
in
it
love with
is.
it heavily. I
You-
will continue to learn, and I'm done monologuing like I'm the Joker. So I'll shut up.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I mean, like Diego said, the racing family, like, it's almost cult-like,
No,
but in a good way.
No, it really is. I mean, because we've all become like in here, the ball busting that happens in here.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I mean, we could leave here and go hang out at the races and sit together,
Right.
and it's just a wicked chill time. It's no big deal, right?
So I was just going to chime in here because I think there's a misperception that I grew up at the Speedbowl like you did, which
Yep.
is not the case.
Yep.
You know, the first track I ever went to was?
Probably some stuff like Danbury.
I think the first track I went to actually was Daytona.
Really?
Possibly New Smyrna. I went there for the speed
Well,
weeks
your family's heavily
with
tied in.
my aunt and uncle,
Right.
who are probably watching. I think
Yeah.
they watch every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
But there's the 82, and so Brooksy was flagging at New Smyrna there. So it might even have been New Smyrna.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really young. I was like
Yeah.
8, and then that season he was
You were
at,
like 15.
he was at Westboro. I'm not that old, and you're right behind me. So. But in terms of the short tracks in New England, I believe Westboro was the first track I went to.
Wow.
And it was probably a weekend where Brooksy worked Westboro Saturdays and then Thompson on Sundays. Then the following year, he left Westboro, went to Riverside Park.
Yeah.
So right there, that's 5 tracks that I went to before I ever went to the Speedbowl, which was right down the street. I did grow up in Waterford. And then I went there a couple times with a friend of mine that I grew up with, Chris. We used to mow lawns to make enough money to go to the Speedbowl.
Right.
But we only went there a few times, and then I continually went with Brooksy to wherever he was working, which was usually Thompson or in Riverside. And then I really got out of it.
Brixie was the man, though.
Oh, he was around
He
forever.
still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got out of the sport for a long time until his son, my cousin Richie, started racing mini stocks in the late 90s. And that's where I met all you guys. And
Yeah.
I've been going there ever since. But yeah, there is a and listen, I love the Speedbowl, and I hope that it always stays here, and it is in my hometown. But I didn't grow up going there, and it was not even
Yeah.
the top 5 tracks that I went to first.
It is crazy to hear
Strange as
that.
that sounds.
Yeah, I mean, if you never told that story, I would have just gone on assuming you were at the Speedbowl since you were
Right.
freaking diapers. Like,
Yeah.
truly,
No.
I mean, the amount that you know and like the connection you have with the Speedbowl, I just assumed that it's been like a lifelong thing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to kind of just say that because
Right.
it's different than I think what people.
Yeah, I actually
would
didn't
thought.
know that either.
Yeah.
Another thing I just want to add, like, for me, the sound, for me, was the intoxicating
Oh, yeah.
part of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first time those SKs went
Right.
around. I mean,
Same here.
Like that, it was just I'm in.
Because I
You
know
what
nothing
mean?
about cars.
Yeah.
It was all
Right.
about the spectacle.
Yes.
The cars looked cool. They sounded cool.
Yep.
Right.
You know, you get it's like the Friday night lights come out. You know,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
it was an event.
Yeah.
it was
Something
cool.
about those lights that came on,
Right.
Well, I mean,
and the
that's
sun
right.
setting, and you know, God,
Yeah, it
what's
was
his-
great.
What's
No-
his name? What's the guy's name?
You-
I don't know.
You
I don't know.
Are you thinking of a wrestler's entrance?
No. Dave Baraball.
Oh yeah.
Saying like start your engines, and you
Yep.
know from then on it's just
Yep.
like ugh.
No, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the sensory experience is. What, especially at a young age,
Gets
like
me
for
every
me,
time.
I mean, I
Sorry.
was going to New Hampshire, early 2010s.
I got to think either you're in or you're out, though. Most
Right.
times, when you go as a kid, either it's for you or it's
Yeah.
not.
No, that's
Right.
true.
It's either like, damn, this is for me.
Yeah.
Or, Dad, do we have to go back there again?
Right.
it's going to be one of the two.
Yeah.
No,
You
first
know?
time you're by that
Can I-
fence with the cup cars going by, dude, you can't come back from that. I
Can I
mean, that
just-
was lights out.
Can I just give you the oddball? Just the I totally agree with you for the most part.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the pearls, Alexander and Cameron, when they would come with their mom to watch Jeff race at the Speedbowl, and they both did race karts, but now Alexander's the only one that's still racing. And when they were younger, Cameron was all into it. Had the headset on, listening, rooting his dad. Alexander was like, "Oh, can we go home now?
Right,
Like, Dad's racing last. We got to stay here the whole time."
right.
Like, he was, and I just thought, oh, that kid's never going to race.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's so weird to see that he's racing and doing well. And I always think of that, like, because I agree with you. Usually, you get hooked in. I mean, that's why I'm hooked in.
Yeah.
Because I went when I was 6, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah,
Even though I knew nothing about cars and still don't, but it hooked me right in.
right.
But I always found that weird that Alexander's turned out to do really good for himself on
Yeah,
the track.
Right.
And he showed really no signs of that when
Yeah.
he was really
Yeah,
young.
that's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. But anyways, listen, great segment, everybody. Sid's View Podcast at gmail.com is where you want to send those inquiries. And we hope to keep it going all week long, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all year long. So, all right, let's keep it moving. Another popular segment from our friends over at Riley Generators. Let's giddy up with a little pop culture minute. Okay, so that's how Remy starts things. So I figured
So,
So my wife and I, like I said before, Sunday we had a little date night. Actually, shout out to my niece Julia who gave us it was like a Ticketmaster gift card, and so for Christmas, and we used that to buy tickets to go see Sebastian Maniscalco at the I forget what it's called now. I still call it the Worcester Centrum, but it's the DCU Center or something.
Yep.
I don't know. It's got a corporate sponsor. So, anyways. He's hilarious. If you don't know who he is, shame on you. I sent the group text because they started firing off about how well Ryan was doing,
Oh, yeah.
and we were in the heart of Worcester trying to find the parking garage,
Oh, yeah.
and so Diego and I were talking yesterday morning, and he was not familiar with Sebastian and was asking me about the show, and so I found this clip. Now the little sidebar to this is just so you can understand why this is funny, and Rob will chime in later. But
oh boy.
Rob was a badass swimmer in his high school days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured what better clip for those of you, if you are not familiar with our boy Sebastian, maybe Remy can cue this up and give you a little peek, because this might have been what Rob went through during high school.
Princeton swimming. You gotta shave your entire body for that? Yeah? Did you shave your nuts too? Yeah? Can you imagine? Any other athlete just puts on the uniform and they jog out. This guy's in the shower. Shaving his nuts before he goes out to play. Princeton swimming.
That's
Is
my
that
guy.
true, Rob?
Yeah. So listen.
Yes.
To be a good swimmer, there's a lot of sacrifices you have to make.
Lot of
And one of those
sacrifices.
sacrifices is all of your body hair.
Wow.
Now, usually you do it at home, but sometimes you get the new guy that shows up and he forgot he had to do it. And
Oh,
you get the
that's
picture.
funny.
Now, listen, I have no shame, okay? You were talking about being at Eastside High School.
There goes the family vibe.
You go back to that high school, you go in the pool, you're going to see my name up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
No joke. But yeah, there's a lot of uncomfortable situations you got to deal with. That's not even the worst one. Try going in that pool, you look down, you see dead skin and hair everywhere.
Stop.
Yeah, that's fun too.
All right, that's
Sorry,
that's where we wrap up the
Maybe I
segment.
got a little too
I'll take a cookie,
Yeah.
please.
PTSD is coming back.
All right, we
Wow.
got one more segment to go. Let's get your championship picks out. Now, at the end of the show last week, we said we were going to do the Seekonk championship picks, but we realized that we only have 2 shows left before the icebreaker.
Oh, hell yeah.
And next week we have to do our pick'ems. Now, listen, we still need a sponsor for the weekly pick'ems.
Come on.
So we want to get that started next week, and then we would do that with the Thompson icebreaker events. And so we would, in theory, take a week off from the championship picks to do that. So we had to do the Thompson championship picks tonight before the season starts. So let's get going from our friends over at Myers Creamery helping us out with this. Should we go ladies first? Rem.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, this
All
ought
right.
to be freaking good.
Should we preface this by saying that finding out who was going to run was quite challenging.
It
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Oh my
Quite
god.
challenging.
After looking over everything, I'm just hoping that some people are on the roster.
Wow, there's a
I'm-
lot of squiggly marks on that thing.
It's a work of art. Okay. Anyway.
Mhm.
All right. 604 mods. Todd Owen.
Mhm.
Late model. Jake Johnson. SK Lights. Meg Fuller. Street Stocks. Ryan Waterman. And I am so sorry. I'm probably gonna screw up your last name.
You got this.
Mini Stocks. Ryan Pop.
We did a reel about this already. You didn't-
Papacelli.
There you go.
Papacelli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we sure Jake Johnson's running a full season there?
It's not up
I
to
don't-
us to figure out. That's her fault.
No, I know. I know it is, but I don't think
I don't
he
know.
is.
I
He
don't
may be.
know, but
Why wouldn't he? He has the last couple of years.
I don't think he's running a full season there. I could be wrong. Go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. 604s.
Mhm.
Keith Rocco.
Mhm.
Okay.
You text him today, find out if he was running there?
No way.
Okay.
Late models. I think he is. He did last year. I'm going to go on a limb. Derek Gluchucky.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. SK Lights.
Mhm.
Chill out, Rem. The hell's so damn funny up in this house? Johnny O.
Mhm.
SK Lights. Street Stalkers. This is going what I was against. Who do you think I picked? Anybody? Crickets?
Waterman?
Leadfoot Larry Barnett?
Hmm.
Leadfoot Larry Barnett. I just ate the microphone.
Mhm.
interesting.
Last one. Mini stocks. Ryan Pompacelli.
I
No
chat-
change in your picks, Rob.
I'm just writing them down. Listen,
No, you're writing them down after
well,
I say
changing
them.
the pick is kind of loose because I got 3 written for each category.
So
here. I'm
me
trying
and
to
you,
counterplay.
we came down to the wire last year. This is going to mean something.
Yeah, I'm happy you went first. Let's put it that way.
That's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, over to you, buddy.
All right. So 604 mods, I went Keith Rocco.
Here we go.
Late models, Brian Tagg.
Okay, that's a good one.
SK Lights, Nick Hovey.
Mm-hmm.
Street Stocks, if he's running this year full time, Ryan Waterman.
Oh, no. Well, even if he's not, you still picked him, but go ahead.
All right, damn.
Go ahead.
And then mini stocks, Jared Roy.
All right. So sucks to be you because I don't think Jared Roy or Nick Hovey are running full seasons there, but them scissors the breaks.
Well, then
Rob,
what the
over
hell?
to you.
So here we go.
Well, now I've had my
Your
very
mind's just-
calculated
Oh,
championship picks for
sure,
Thompson.
sure.
Mhm. Thank you to everyone else who went first. All right, here we go. Don't need this anymore.
Here we go.
For 604s, I went with Mr. Racer, Zach Sangermano.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Brian Tagg for the late models.
Whoa.
Evan Burgoyce for SK Lights.
You know he's running there full time? Okay.
If he is, I feel confident. If he's not, well,
You're not that confident.
poop. Street Stocks. Diego, you couldn't have put it better. Leadfoot Larry Barnett.
Did you really?
I did. And listen, that was one of the ones I actually only had one name for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to Larry today.
Yep.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is
I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Why he's not racing?
Possible.
Stop. The dude's been racing every race.
I was telling
come
you.
on, Leadfoot,
Don't
come on.
try to
come
His
on.
answer was not chock full of confidence that he would be there the whole year.
Don't try to
God.
That's all I'm
depress us
saying.
right now.
Ugh, Jesus.
I'm going to kick your asses all in this game anyways, so I don't
it's
know.
not-
all right, go ahead, Rob.
Come on, Leadfoot, come on, come on. And my final pick for mini stocks, I have Glenn Roy.
Yeah, no shot. That's going to be correct.
Yep. All right. I'm
All
gonna
right.
think I got a winner there.
Oh, hell no.
Sid, did you go already?
No, I'm going right now.
Oh, so you wrote everybody's down?
No, I had mine written down.
Oh.
Remy crossed hers out and cheated off of mine, so she went Todd
Shut
Owen.
up.
Well, you know that's what you did.
No.
Tickety tag, I have. in the late models, Johnny O in the SK Lights, Waterman in the Streeters. Rando pick here, but I went with Dave Trudeau in the mini stocks.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
He likes to race up there. Who knows
How
if
many
he'll be there
different
full
picks
time?
did me and you have? 'Cause I think it's going to come down to me and you.
Based on what?
What do you mean? You got last. You got last.
Well, last year.
Based on what, your dreams?
So last year was my first year, and I didn't quite figure that you guys were going to be so serious
Oh,
about
here
it.
we
you
go.
kidding?
So no,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to get serious about it this
No,
year.
Oh, you were serious last year, guy.
Yeah.
We were about to be throwing hands here.
That's the problem, is you didn't take it serious. That's correct, sure. Okay, now you're locked in. So now when
I'm
you
good.
suck balls, we're going to say, oh, this is what happens when you're
Oh,
serious?
the family show is right out the window.
It's over.
Family show's over. Yeah, time to wrap it up. Listen, everybody, had a great time. Thanks once again, as always, for tuning in. We love having being a part of your Tuesday nights. Make sure you follow us on social, because our girl Rem is absolutely internet gold, and we will guarantee she will say something else funny. Diego, give us some shout-outs.
Heck yeah, man. Fowler's Auto Record for the weekly update. Of course, Waddell Communications for the Nostalgia Nugget. Hoosier Tire East for the Popcorn Stat Chat. Legion Speedway, thanks so much for Did You Know. Of course, Seacon Grand Prix for the March Madness brackets, one of my favorites. Ed Marcel Firewood and Land Clearing for my segment, Viewer Mail. Let's get those emails in, folks. Thanks to Riley Generators for the Pop Culture Minute. Of course, Monaco Ford for the results ticker. That's going to be awesome all year. Myers Creamery for the championship predictions that I am going to win.
Oh, boy.
Thanks to yours, Critical Screen Print for the chalkboard chatter. Of course, Vault Productions for this kick-ass studio. Last but not least, to all our podcast members, you guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been a great night. Thanks for the live chat. It's been a great time.
All right, everybody, listen, appreciate it. And we know we had some audio issues we were dealing with. Appreciate all the feedback in the chat. And we'll take care of that for next week. We'll see you then.